Let's go, let's go, let's go, and welcome to the Fort Lee Regional Chamber of Commerce presents Members at Work podcast. And today our guest is Alice Denenberg. Welcome, Alice. Alice is a lawyer with Gottlieb, Rackman Reisman, an intellectual property law firm based in New York City. And you primarily work with trademarks, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Nice to have you here, Alice.
Thanks for having me.
I didn't call you by your last name. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But yeah, so you're a fellow board member. So we've hung out a lot, and we're also both a part of the YP committee, a part of the Fort Lee Chamber. So we're old friends at this. And
for sure.
So it's just good to finally get it on tape, us talking about what we do. So, yeah, let's get into what you do as an attorney and IP, especially working with trademarks. So,
Sure.
How did you get into that?
How did I get into it? That's a good question. So first step, you got to go to law school. But in general, like when you're talking about things like intellectual property and trademarks being, in essence, brand protection, so you're like creating value for businesses. And that just seemed really appealing to me. Like you're helping people basically like realize their dreams and create a product or a service that, you know, is associated with the brand that you've invented. And we help people secure protection for that. And we also do enforcement. And then if it comes down to it, we also do litigation.
Oh, was it while you were in law school? Did it pop out to you then, this particular kind of work, or is it you just kind of interned at different spots?
I think I definitely went in with that in mind. And the school that I attended, which is Cardozo, it's in the city, they actually have a intellectual property law program, so like kind of like a track that you could focus on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How long was that track, or like what was the...
So law school is 3 years. The first year you usually just cover like the very basic topics like tort law, contract law, property law. And then in the second and third years, you're permitted to pick your own classes, and that's where you can like, you know, further your interest in the area that you're interested in. All
right. Now, I know you're not from the U.S. You're originally from Canada.
That's a good point. I am originally from Canada.
So how was that transition between like from Canada to U.S., or did you study there first, or how did?
No, so my law school was strictly in the U.S. and I actually came to the U.S. to study for law school.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was better weather. Definitely people made fun of my accent. I had a very strong Canadian accent when I first moved, and I got a lot of made fun of that for that, but that's okay. And you know, it's thankfully not a huge culture shock, but like it's New York City. Like who doesn't want to be here? It's literally like the best city in the world. So that's how I ended up here, and here I am. I'm staying.
Yeah. How long has it been now?
Oh gosh, like many years.
Okay.
I don't want to say.
Okay. Well, what are you working with now, or is there a special case that you can...
Sure. So technically, we help people in all industries. The new hot industry is things like NFTs, cryptocurrency. Cannabis is a hot industry too, and it has its own little things, but those are like the hot ones. But we do, you know, the regular things like clothing brands and, you know, dentists and real estate agents. And so really anything can be a brand. And we just kind of work with everybody in every industry and help them protect the brand that they've created.
Wow. All right. So protecting the brand, that's many things, right? That's between logos, I guess catchphrases. So do you help secure all of that?
Yeah,
the
for
colors,
sure. Colors
for
can
logo,
be in the U.S. A color can be a trademark. So like the pink color of of insulation is a trademark. The smell of Play-Doh is a trademark. The actual, when you open up a can of Play-Doh and you sniff that, you can trademark that. The inside of an Apple store is actually a trademark. They've trademarked the inside of an Apple store.
Wow.
The shape of a purse, certain purses are trademarked. So that shape of that purse can be a trademark. the color, like in terms of like the packaging for Tiffany's, that's a trademark. So those are all.
Definitely.
So in the U.S., the definition of a trademark is actually very broad, and anything that you can create, what they call, it's like a source identifier. So when you see that blue box, you're like, oh yeah, it's a Tiffany's box. When you walk by the Apple store, even if you didn't see the word Apple at the top, you would know, like based on the layout and the way the tables are set and the shelves, that that's an Apple store. So it's the creation of the source of the brand is like what creates that intellectual property, so to speak.
So when somebody wants that, is it everything? Like, what do you even choose?
So the most basic is usually we start with like a word mark, so it would be like the word, and then people could, like, you know, depending on their budget or their interest, they could go for a logo or like a mixed word and logo. So you can see like things like where I talked about like a scent or a color. Those are much more difficult and in some cases expensive to secure. So you're really looking at something long-standing, right? You really want something that's created in the mind of a public, of something that like people will identify.
Yeah, I mean, a room?
A room,
like,
yeah.
Isn't
that crazy?
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. So,
but why not, right? If that's like the way, you know, if that's like particular to that brand, then of course you'd want to protect it.
Oh wow, fascinating. So, how long have you been with your firm, and you're working out of Fort Lee, or how does that work? Or
So I can work, remote, and we have an office in the city. And I've been with my firm for a couple of years, but I've been in the practice for over 10 years. So,
all right,
long-standing, yeah.
All right. What made you want to join the Fort Lee Chamber, or what was that story?
So that was like completely random. I just wanted to kind of get more involved in my community. And, you know, I just kind of joined the chamber on a whim. And my first experience with the chamber was the women's group. I don't know if you remember, we had that before the pandemic, and we were meeting. And it was really a great group. And, you know, I just kept participating, and I just met such fantastic people through the chamber. And we've had so much fun. Like, we did a really fun golf outing. Yeah. That was good times. And, you know, and as co-committee members on the Young Professional Committee, we're trying to kind of bring this committee up, because I'm sure, like, people kind of, when people think of a chamber of commerce, they don't maybe think of young professionals so much. Yeah. It's definitely a challenge for us to like get more kind of young blood and encourage people to join. And chamber's like a great way to like promote a local business and to get to know your neighbors. Attend events. Like, it's really fun. It's engaging.
Yeah, it's great. It's social. It's all the things you need in your life to just get through. I mean, as I always say, even just mental health wise, it's great people to hang with that also understand business and what that means, and the ups and downs you have with owning, and, you know, so yeah, that's what I got from it as well as a member. But we have some great events, well, at least an event coming up this week as we speak, that we're doing a speed networking event under the YP committee. But everyone is invited. We're going to have the link to it in the summary of this podcast. So please, wherever you're at in the world, actually, join
us.
Join us.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yes, exactly. Fellow business owners. We all have, I mean, you pretty much can work around the world as well. I mean,
correct,
like,
Not only can I
do.
I do trademark work in like any country where somebody could feasibly want protection.
Exactly.
Because trademark is actually is like a worldwide practice. It's incredible.
Exactly.
You learn a lot about the customs and idiosyncrasies of a lot of countries. Plus, I'm really good at geography.
Exactly. And say, hey, our mic kits can go anywhere around the world as well. So we're both international businesses.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So come check it out. This is on March 4th.
At noon. Eastern Standard Time.
EST.
Yep.
So please check that out. Anything you want to add, or anything that you want to
Yeah,
talk about?
I want to talk about like young people like not being afraid to get involved with their chamber and to bring that young blood into the chamber and not be, not worried that they won't be welcome. I found the chamber to be extremely welcoming, and you'll meet people. I would have never met Fela if not for the chamber, and I adore Fela. She's so amazing, and
we're great friends.
Yeah,
we go out to eat together. Yes,
play golf.
Play golf.
That's fun times.
Yes,
but I didn't even know what a podcasting studio was until I met you. I didn't even realize that was a thing, and I was like, wow. And now I'm always talking about like my friend Fela and her podcasting studio. So it's it's been a great experience, and I just want to encourage people not there was like a level of will I be welcome? Do I belong there? And the answer is yes, you do belong. Yes, you will be welcome. Yes, it's very easy to be involved. And there's chambers all over the U.S. and you can be a member of even more than one. Some people are. Mm-hmm. So I just want to encourage people who are watching and maybe don't really know what a chamber is or, are thinking about getting involved to definitely get involved. It's like a really great venue, that's usually local too. So you really kind of get to know your community.
Yes. All of that. I agree with Alice. So that's it. Thank you so much, Alice. Oh, actually, how can people get in touch with you as well?
You can get in touch with me through email. I guess we could post that in the comments on my website. Uh-huh. I'm also super active on LinkedIn, so I'm always happy to connect with people.
I'll put that link too.
Yeah, that would be great. And I'd like to think of myself as accessible. I love what I do, and I love answering questions about it. And I love talking about it. So,
all right. Thank you so much, Alice.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And there again, from the One of One production studio, for members at work, for me and Alice, thank you for listening and watching. Oh, yeah. And we're on all the major platforms, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Check it out. Members at Work. Please subscribe. Thank you, and let's go.